The air hung heavy with the scent of damp wood and must, an ominous precursor to the macabre tale that unfolded within the confines of Ravenhurst Manor. It was a house that rose from the depths of nightmares, an imposing structure nestled in the heart of an abandoned town, shrouded in a perpetual fog that seemed to slither through its cracked windows like ethereal serpents. I had always been fascinated by the unknown, the adrenaline coursing through my veins as I stepped into the dimly lit corridors of haunted houses. This time, however, I was drawn to Ravenhurst Manor, lured by the whispers of locals who spoke of an attraction beyond any I had ever experienced. The promise of terror so potent that it left a permanent mark on your soul. As I approached the looming gates, the chill of the night seemed to seep into my bones. The rusted iron groaned as I pushed the gates ajar, revealing a path overgrown with ivy that led to the foreboding entrance. The facade of Ravenhurst was a grotesque display of Gothic architecture, each stone seemingly etched with the agony of 1,000 lost souls. The ticket in my hand felt heavier than it should, a forewarning that I dismissed as pre-performance nerves. The entrance hall greeted me with a disconcerting silence, broken only by the distant creaks and moans of the house settling into its own malevolence. A guide, shrouded in a hooded cloak, materialized from the shadows, beckoning me to follow. The corridors twisted and turned like the labyrinth of a demented mind. The air grew colder, and an uneasy feeling gnawed at the edges of my consciousness. The guide led me through rooms that seemed to defy the laws of space and time, each one more unsettling than the last. Dolls with hollow eyes stared from dusty shelves, their eerie gaze following my every move. As we descended into the bowels of Ravenhurst, the darkness became suffocating, pressing against my senses. I could hear whispers, indistinct murmurs that echoed through the narrow passageways. The guide spoke not a word, their presence a mere specter guiding me through the haunted corridors. The first sign that something was amiss manifested in a room filled with mirrors. My reflection warped and contorted, taking on grotesque forms that lingered in the glass even after I turned away. A shiver crawled down my spine as I glimpsed fleeting figures in the mirrors, phantoms that danced at the periphery of my vision. The descent into madness continued as the temperature plummeted and the whispers grew louder. The guide, now a mere silhouette in the darkness, led me to a room draped in shadows. A single flickering candle illuminated a decrepit ouija board, its planchette moving with an otherworldly energy. A voice, cold and hollow, emanated from the shadows, weaving a tale of Ravenhurst's dark history. It spoke of a cursed family, their malevolent deeds staining the very walls of the manor. As the narrative unfolded, the air crackled with an unsettling energy, and I felt a spectral presence looming over me. My attempts to leave were futile. The doors seemed to mock my feeble struggles, trapping me within the web of Ravenhurst's malevolence. The guide's form blurred into something monstrous, a grotesque amalgamation of shadow and malice. I stumbled backward, my heart pounding in sync with the ethereal whispers that now surrounded me. The walls seemed to bleed, oozing a viscous substance that clung to my skin like the touch of 1,000 icy fingers. The once silent whispers crescendoed into tormented wails, and the temperature plummeted to a bone-chilling degree. Faces materialized in the walls, contorted in agony, their eyes pleading for release from an eternal torment. In a moment of surreal horror, the very fabric of reality seemed to fray. The guide's voice, now distorted and demonic, echoed through the chamber, proclaiming the arrival of a malevolent force that hungered for the living. The room pulsated with an otherworldly energy as the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred into a nightmarish tapestry. With a deafening roar, the walls themselves seemed to implode, revealing a swirling vortex of darkness that beckoned me with an insatiable hunger. I was no longer in control of my own fate. The house, a sentient entity, consumed my very essence, trapping me in a purgatory between the living and the damned. As Ravenhurst claimed its final victim, the haunted attraction that had promised terror now lay abandoned, a relic of a malevolence that transcended the boundaries of fiction. The once bustling town recoiled in fear, The memory of Ravenhurst Manor, a lingering specter that cast a pall over the forsaken landscape. The horror that unfolded within those cursed walls became a cautionary tale whispered by the few who dared to speak of the haunted house attraction gone wrong. The spirits of Ravenhurst, unsated by the passage of time, continued to haunt the decaying corridors, their tormented wails a chilling reminder of a darkness that should have remained undisturbed.